let's go ahead and put it all together. So what we're going to do in this is we're going to complete the square to get vertex form and then solve it. So if our function we have is x squared plus 10x plus 22 equals 13. I'm going to ignore the 13. I know we can move it over here, but I'm going to go ahead and just complete the square on this because we're going to end up solving anyways. So let's go ahead and figure out what b is 10, right? So divide that by 2. So both of these are 5. 5 times 5 is 25. So that's the magic number we're going to add in. X squared plus 10x. And then we'll do plus 25 minus 25 plus 22 equals 13. And it's quite a genius method here. I mean, what you notice here is the 25 minus 25, that's just 0. We're not affecting the original equation. It's still the same thing because we're just adding 0 to it. But why would we do it? Because this right here is a perfect square that will factor down to x plus 5 squared. Remember, this is the factored form of this here. We can see there are two factors, x plus 5. And then on the outside, negative 25 plus 22 is negative 3. And you'll see the form they wanted is x plus c squared equals some numbers. They don't want this negative 3 right there between the equal sign. It goes, there's the perfect square, then the equals, then the number. So I'm going to go ahead and move this over to the other side. I'm going to add the 3 over here. And I'm going to get that x plus 5 squared equals 16. All right, now that that's out of the way, whoa, it doesn't equal 16. We need to enter the entire equation, my bad. So x plus 5 squared equals 16. Now we got to figure out what x equals. So what we're going to do is we're going to square root both sides. Remember, that's where the plus or minus comes in at. So that's going to be plus or minus 4. Then we'll subtract the 5 to the other side to get negative 5 plus or minus 4 for our x value. And we just put that negative 5 in front of the plus or minus. That's fine. This is a very similar example. Let's look at what happens if we have to move some stuff over first. So notice we just have x squared by itself. I could subtract the x squared to the left side, but you never want to deal with the negative in front of the x squared. We'll figure that out in the next assignment, how to factor something out, because if there is a negative, you got to factor it out. It's a bit of a pain. So what I'm going to do is let's move everything else over. I'm going to move the 6x over here, which is really all we need to do. And we're used to seeing it with the x squared on this side, so I'm just going to flip it based upon the equal sign here. And let's go ahead and find that magic number. So this time b is negative 6. So if b is negative 6, then divide that by 2 is negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. So 9 is the magic number this time. And these first 3 terms, notice it's always going to be the plus first. Woo. It's always going to be the plus first. That's what you want to have. This is the perfect square that factors down to x minus 3, or otherwise known as x minus 3 squared. And they want it in this form, just like that last example. So I'll add the 9 over to the other side. So there's our first answer. X minus 3 squared equals 64. So last, to solve it, we'll go ahead and square root both sides. Plus or minus is where that comes from. So plus or minus 8. X minus 3 equals plus or minus 8. And we'll add the 3 to the right side. And x equals 3 plus or minus 8. And that's the idea of that assignment. The next one's a little more difficult because we're going to have a number in front that we got to factor out first. And also dealing with an odd number for b makes things a little bit more complicated because we got to deal with fractions. But we'll take a look at that in the next video.